basic. I need the music. My hobby is to go places like SBE. We on fleek. Everybody can't keep their hands off me. Cavaliers fitted LJs on my feet. Iced out chains, I'm so unique. We the MVP. She on fleek. The way she move her body to the beat. Shop at the store, Michael Kors to the T. Her hair and nails get on fleek for the week. She's so fleek. The MVP. Ball faded tight. Two driveways. Splash zone tonight. 'Cause it's a Friday. I'm on fleek. OBJ's up on my feet. Got Minecraft classes. I'm a certified geek. On fleek. Got your boy in a line of cake cream. On fleek. Skinny jeans got blue around the seam. On fleek. V-neck, go chain wearing fatigue. On fleek. Don't mind me. I'm living my dream. We on fleek. Everybody can't keep their hands off me. Cavaliers fitted LJs on my feet.
Hey, yo, are you tired of spending high prices just to have on the same outfit as everyone else? Well, check out the Original Lifestyle Studios. The Original Lifestyle Studio has men and women fashions, hats, shoes, custom clothing, and specialty items from local vendors. Mention that you heard this ad on Since 1974 Radio and receive 10% off your purchase. The Original Lifestyle Studio, open Tuesday through Saturday from 2 to 8 p.m. Located at 426 Broadway Avenue, Lorain, Ohio. 440-654-2758. That's 440-654-2758. Or visit wearelorain.com.
Always playing the best Midwest independent hip hop and R&B. You might want to get hip to since1974radio.com.
What up, Ty, man? Jersey City, man. Hey, I'm gonna do this one time for the old school era, man. Since 1974 radio. Welcome to the Midwest Independent Show. Hip hop and R&B for everywhere you go. Every Tuesday from 8:15 to 10, catch IamThaDJ Show with Dez. Ready for the weekend. Friday next from 10 to midnight. You got the goal line set. Now Monday through Friday, dead at noon. Catch my homie Ty House, Howard in the Moon. Saturday, my favorite. Got the O.G Show. From 6 to 7, got you saying, oh God, no. Lorain, the Fly City, back at it for show. From the trap, R&B, and even rhythm and soul. This that since when? 1974. In case you had no clue, well, now you know. From that 440 to the 810 was all possible because of Ty House. Let's go. Hey.
Yo, yo, yo. You got my levels, Ty? Yep. Okay. I'm not hearing anything in here right now. In my headphones.
You hear anything in your headphones?
Yeah, there we go. I can hear it now.
I could hear it now too.
Yep, we got Tim's levels good. I'd like to welcome everybody back. We're back in our normal surroundings. Studio C at the One Vision Recording Complex, 422 Broadway Avenue. This is the I Am the DJ show, since 1974radio.com. I am the DJ. We got Ty House producing.
Yo, what up, though?
And it's October 27th. We are a week away from Election Day. So I had to bring to you an exclusive interview with independent mayoral candidate for Lorain, Mr. Tim Carrion. Thanks for coming today. I appreciate it, man.
It's great to be here. I genuinely appreciate the invitation. I'm excited about what you got for us tonight.
No problem. You know, throughout the process, because I believe that you made your announcement of your candidacy last year during the Labor Day outing.
October 31st, that's correct.
Okay. So it's been about a year.
It has. And actually that event showed me a lot of things. And I didn't mean to jump right in.
Oh, no, you're good.
When we announced, it was amazing. There was about 3,000 people in the crowd down at the Black River Landing.
Right.
And every event I've ever been part of, Top Dog closed the show. And we got there, and I had my little script ready. I wanted to go from the heart a little bit, but I had some talking points. And you had the candidate for state treasurer speak. You had Dr. Church from the college speak. You had the candidate for county, the Cuyahoga County administrator speak. Then you had our state senator speak, and I was like, I guess they ain't got time for me. I guess I'll be back next year.
Right.
But before you know it, the crew that had invited me there said, I mean, after the senator spoke, they said, "This is your stage now," and literally they're saying, "Okay, everybody off the stage." And when they introduced me, I mean, they gave me so much love. It was crazy. The gentleman who introduced me, Harry Williamson, who's my brother. We've become brothers throughout this journey.
Right.
He said, "You know what? Now I have an opportunity to meet this young man, and I'm excited about what he's going to do for our city, partnering with all the leadership." He said, "Before I introduce him, though, you guys got to give him some love." So it was so crazy because 3,000 people, about half of them chanting, "Tim, Tim, Tim." Half of them are like, "Who the heck is Tim?"
Right. Tim who?
And there was about a dozen people giving me some hand signals. So that was about how the campaign was going to go for the next year. So.
You know, it's funny because what I was going to say is that, so you've been doing this for a year now.
Yep.
And it's so funny because there are people who are still not aware. Like, we were just up front. My uncle was up front. He had came by and stopped by to see me real quick. And we were up there talking, and then Tim came in, and then I introduced him. And I was kind of making a joke about asking him who he was voting for and everything. And he literally did not realize that there was another candidate for mayor.
Oh, man.
The independent candidate, Tim Carrion, you know, and he made his announcement first.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you know what's interesting about this whole thing is that we don't have a huge budget.
Right.
So we've been using some methods that are a little bit different. As a matter of fact, not only do we not have a big budget, but papers really haven't been covering us right, in my opinion. There hasn't been balanced coverage either in the Chronicle or the Journal. I hate to call them out on radio.
Oh, that's real talk, though.
But, yeah, it's real. So, as a matter of fact, I had a conversation with the senior editor of the Chronicle, Andy Young, the other day, and he said, he interviewed me for an hour and 45 minutes, and he said, and at the end of the interview, it was for the endorsement, the paper's endorsement. At the end of the interview, he said, "Hey, do you have anything else to say?" I said, "Well, I'm gonna be real with you. A lot of my supporters are mad at me because I'm sitting here talking to you right now." I said, "The perception is that, number one, you haven't covered us in a balanced way. Anytime I have something in the paper, the incumbent gets 2 paragraphs on my article.
Right.
Yet anytime he's in the paper, I don't get any love." And I said, and to be honest with you, the perception is that you've already made your decision about the endorsement, and we're just going through the motions here. And he actually had the audacity to say, "Well, I'll be honest with you, you're right.
Wow.
We've already made our decision, and I almost always support the incumbent." And he said, he used the analogy, "Well, what would you rather have, a surgeon that's been in the job for 4 years or someone that's right out of school?" I said, "Well, if I have a mediocre surgeon, I don't care how many years he's been there,
Right.
I might go for the new talent."
Yeah, and I think that is such a poor analogy because when you are a surgeon, you have a very specific set of skills that you need to have. And there's you know what I mean? There's probably some small variations in ways that a doctor would say perform a heart surgery, but I'm pretty sure there's some standard protocol, this is how you do heart surgery. Running a city, it's not really like that, you know. There's
different styles,
very many different styles, you know, and especially coming from a city as diverse as ours, you kind of need to have a diverse set of skill set.
I agree, and to be honest with you, I think that's really what we bring to the table is creativity. We come from a background, and I say we because this is about a whole team. This is about
Absolutely.
a whole movement of leaders that are truly trying to change the city in a positive way, and we're so sincere about what we're doing. But so I'll talk about myself in particular. I come from very humble beginnings. I grew up in metropolitan housing over at Lorain Drive, and we had to be creative. We didn't have much. We didn't have a lot to. We didn't have a lot of resources. So there were times you open up the refrigerator, you got 3 ingredients there. You got to figure out what to do.
Ty, I know you can relate up in Flint. up in Flint, Michigan.
Yes,
I know
sir,
You probably
you-
had some 3-ingredient.
I was there Saturday. Like, don't drink the water. Don't drink the water. Put the water back. Like, oh man, what kind of crap is this?
But we bring a sense of creativity and a sense of passion that really, in my opinion, has not been seen in politics in this city since, in my lifetime. And that's really what, as you mentioned, your uncle wasn't aware of this campaign. And it's because we've had to leverage methods that are a little bit unique to politics, especially in this city. Again, because we weren't getting much press and because we didn't have a huge budget, we created our own platform on social media and really like playing telephone. It's been word of mouth. And to be honest with you, I'm so proud about how this campaign has grown. And you're right, we were the first to come out of the gate. But the reality is we've had a lot of challenges, but the love we've gotten, the organic growth of this whole movement. And it started out, to be honest with you, this didn't even start out as a campaign for mayor. And this is much, much bigger than a campaign for mayor.
Right.
The mayoral campaign is just one small piece of this whole huge machine that's become this movement. And it started out basically as a few guys, a few community leaders that had some a constituency that they focused on, coming together and saying, how can we work together to move the city forward? And what we realized was, number one, even though we all looked differently and we had different backgrounds, at our core we're the same guy.
Oh, yeah.
We're Lorainites. We're gritty blue collar people with a little bit of a chip on our shoulder. Yes. Underdog mentality, but we do what we have to do to make it happen. And we realized, number one, we were all very similar, but number two, the reality was, in order for us to start to move things forward, we had to begin to erase the lines of division, because we realized that our constituencies individually had some influence, but if we could find a way to start supporting each other and following and creating a strategy and a mission that would encompass all the constituencies, we'd be much more influential and much more effective at meeting the needs of all our constituents. And that's really how this whole thing started about 2 years ago.
Nice.
It turned from 3 guys into 5 guys into 7 guys and a gal, and it continued to grow. And it wasn't really what we wanted to do was just support each other initially. What we realized, though, was there's so many great things going on around the city, but a lot of what was happening couldn't truly be effective because the system's broken. Mm-hmm. Because, and also because of the centralized power base that we have in the city. And I know you and I have talked about this before, and really there's an imbalance in resources. It's all of us, there's a balance in how most of us pay into the system, but in terms of getting resources back out, that's the part of it that doesn't reach the entire community. And there's a lot of our neighborhoods that really have been forgotten.
Yeah.
So what we wanted to do was start establishing that balance. And what we realized was that because of the broken system, in order for us to truly be effective, we had to infiltrate the system. And that's how we started identifying different individuals to run for council, different people to run for council at large. And we even had the thought of mayor. And to be honest with you, I was on the search committee. My goal wasn't to be a candidate. And if you had asked me 2 years ago if I would ever be a politician, the quick answer would have been no. There may have even been a hell in front of it, because that's not what I do. That wasn't me. I'm a sideline guy. I'm the guy who introduces the keynote speaker.
Right.
I'm not the keynote guy. But I realized, and there was a couple of incidents, one in particular that made me realize I have to come out of my comfort zone and take on this challenge, because this thing needs a face. This thing needs and the early on our motto became, together we can make it better. And that's exactly what's been happening.
And I know for myself, throwing my hat into the ring for running for mayor, it's a very unselfish thing to do, because you have to sacrifice a lot. I know you have a family, you have a business, and I'm sure that you have other obligations. And, putting yourself out like that. You know, it's really unselfish.
And on the surface, it probably seems like the opposite.
Right.
It probably seems like I think I got it going on because I'm putting myself, I'm doing this for me.
Right.
But the reality is, it can't be about me. And you're absolutely right. But really, what happened early on? So, my whole professional career, whether right or not, I always felt there should be a divide between my personal family life, my professional life, and my community life. Now I realize that was probably a wrong decision early on because my family should have been part of all of it all along. And that's really one of the things that this campaign has helped me to understand and helped me to build. Now when I'm out on the campaign trail, my kids are with me. Where before I'd work, or I'd be out in the community till 8, 9 o'clock at night sometimes.
Right.
Come home, and then I try to do a little bit of family time. But
try to keep it separated, but you kind of can't when you're that immersed into it. I realize now that it would have been healthy to have them involved the entire time because they're going to be our future leaders. Yeah. So it would have been, I would have been able to allow them to become groomed and to be part of something bigger. And that's really one of the things that is important to me is that this whole movement, again, is much bigger than Tim Carrion, even though, I'm getting a lot of love, but I let people know every step of the way it's not about me. And to be honest with you, when people make it about me, it makes it more challenging because this doesn't end November 3rd. Regardless of what the outcome of November 3rd is, this has to keep going. Well, I'm glad that you said that because that was on my list of questions to ask you. I'm always a person that likes to think positive. When I want something to happen, I think as if it's going to happen, but you always kind of have to assess what if it doesn't go the way that I want it to go? What is next? Right. So not without saying too much, what happens on November 4th or 5th if you're not the next mayor?
So either way, win or lose, November 5th or 6th, a couple days after the election, we're having a sit down and we're going to discuss, okay, how does this movement continue? Right. If Tim is the mayor and he can't be the face of this anymore, because obviously the focus shifts a little bit, how does it continue to move forward? Because again, becoming mayor is just one small piece. We have to continue, and really, what's happening now, November 3rd, is to start breaking down barriers. It's to start paving the way and clearing a path so that the people behind us can really start making things happen. Right. And I realize, along with several of our other leaders, that what we're working to do is to establish a new environment, to create a situation where it's not an anomaly that there's a diverse person running for mayor, that it's not what's the word, a spectacle. When I announced, a lot of what the conversation was, oh wow, we're gonna have we might have a Latino mayor. Even the paper, the little bit of press they gave us mentioned the fact that I'm Latino. And when Jessie Tower announced, they mentioned the fact that she was black. In a community like Lorain, it should be expected that a diverse person would run for any position in all positions. Yep. It shouldn't be a spectacle. So that's part of what this is about, is paving the way and creating an environment where, when you have a city that's 44% diverse, let's be real, it should be happening. It shouldn't be something new or something different. So shortly after November 3rd, the focus is going to be for the group as a whole, for the movement. How do we keep this going? How does it continue? Because it can't stop here. For me personally, we already have a transition plan in place for my business. I've reached out to a couple colleagues, and we already have a transition plan ready to go shortly after November 3rd, because we know we're going to have to move quickly.
Right.
Now, a victory for Team Carrion means that we have to move quickly to assemble a team, and I know what I do well, and I know what my expertise is. So I need to surround myself with people who complement me. In my business, I'm the workhorse.
Right.
I'm the guy who's it's full steam ahead, just trying to make stuff happen. and I surround myself by people who kind of pick up the aftermath, are following up with the processes we have in place. So in regard to putting together the team for the 7th floor for City Hall, it's going to be the same thing, finding people that complement what I do.
I wanted to ask you, we've talked about kind of like macro things, like a broken system and things like that. But if you could just focus on one thing and say that throughout the last 2 years of studying Lorain and its issues, one big problem, like something specific that is a big problem that's holding Lorain back.
So I really the quick answer is we need to understand better how to leverage our assets. Lorain has huge potential, and we've been celebrating that potential my whole lifetime, and your whole lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't had a team in place or leadership in place that's understood how to leverage our assets well. When we talk about the lakefront, and we're doing some things on the riverfront now, which is fantastic. But we're just scratching the surface of what our potential is. And if you ask any leader in this city what our greatest asset is, they're probably going to tell you our lakefront.
Yes.
They're probably going to they may say our downtown. In my opinion, our greatest asset and currently what's an untapped resource is the 64,000 people that call Lorain home. Currently, there's this cloak of apathy that is that's really covering the city. And as we've knocked on a couple thousand doors. Me and my team have knocked on several thousand doors. And the reality is, as we've approached people, they've said several things. The first of which has been, no leader has ever come here before. No one has knocked on these doors. And we started deep South Lorain, and we've been across the entire city, all 8 wards, all 43 precincts, and really in every precinct we've gotten a similar responses. Even if they've knocked, they've told us what they've wanted to do.
Right.
But our focus was a little bit different. We spoke briefly about our vision, but it was more about collecting information from them, about saying, okay, what are your thoughts? What are your concerns? And the reality is that almost every individual we talked to said, this has never happened. No one has ever asked me what I think, what I care about. And that's really how we're going to begin to change the city, is by engaging people, connecting with them wherever they are. They don't have to be at a certain level. We're going to connect with them where they are and find ways to bring them in and to make them part of what's going on in our city.
Cool. One of the things that I learned about Lorain and kind of took joy in studying was like the transition of Lorain from its initial state back in 1800s, before there was even a steel mill, and it was just kind of like a small, quaint town. Everybody thinks that the steel mill was like here and everybody came here and there was nothing here before that, but there was actually, a town here. And then there was the steel mill, and you had the big industrial boom of the late 1800s, and it died probably around the 50s and 60s. And since the 70s, you've seen this decline. So what do you think that Lorain should look like, over the next 20, 30 years in order for us to be more sustainable?
So right now, I don't think, because of the current environment, it's going to be a challenge for us to attract any big industry. And I think that's been kind of our MO for decades.
Right.
We're an industrial town. A Carrion administration is going to focus. We're going to flip the script, and we're going to work on things initially that we can be proactive and have quick successes right away. And really, that's focusing on small business, filling vacant storefronts, right? Your neighbors right here on this street. Changing the perception of our downtown, establishing an environment where there's foot traffic, where people are excited about coming into not only our downtown, but our other commercial areas in the city, and really starting there. And I know as a small business owner, and as a small business owner, once you establish an environment where people are comfortable and where they'll come.
Yes.
They're going to.
Absolutely.
So the focus initially is going to be bringing people, filling vacant infrastructure, focusing on small business, but also creating an environment that's inviting to even small businesses. Right now, I think you and I had the conversation. You go to our city website, and it's an embarrassment. It's a challenge to find anything. As a matter of fact, one of the gentlemen, a friend of mine that works at the pools, he said that he contacted the city to please put the pool schedule on the website. So they had to click on 6 different links
Right, to get to
to
it.
find out when the pool's open.
Anybody out there right now, go to cityoflorain.org and just, scoot around, try to see what you can find. But then go to other cities' websites. Go look at the City of Cleveland website, City of Lakewood. Even cities like Mansfield or Vermilion or something like that. Go look at our site compared to some of the other cities. And it's just a lack of effort and a lack of understanding how crucial
You're right.
the internet is. And I think that one indication right there leads to a whole bunch of other consequences, which is how the things are run.
Well, and it's something that's so basic. There's high school kids
Exactly.
putting together websites.
Yes.
And obviously a city website is probably going to be a little more complex than other websites, but it's still something that's very basic that could be attacked in a matter of weeks.
Yes.
And really, this is one of the concerns I have about our current leadership is it's almost like things get done, decisions are made in a vacuum. There's no thought about the ramifications. For example, there was a decision made by our current administration to shut down 4 motels in our city. And I'm not arguing the point whether they should have been shut down or not. To me, that's irrelevant. It's not irrelevant, but the thing that most concerns me is the fact that them shutting down these 4 motels created a homeless situation for over 100 families.
Yeah.
And there was no plan B for these families. Our homeless shelters were almost were almost full to begin with before that happened. So if it weren't for about a dozen different leaders from different organizations like Habitat for Humanity that came together to create a different situation for them, what they did was they connected with a young lady a business owner who owned an apartment complex on Oberlin Avenue at the south end of Oberlin Avenue, and they renovated that quickly and moved a lot of the families in there.
That's awesome.
So it was awesome because it shows what great things could happen when community comes together.
And that's the type of stuff that I don't read the paper a lot, but I've never heard anything about that. That's something that when they write about it in the paper, it's like there's all these drugs and crime going on at the hotels. They're eyesores. They're getting torn down, but you don't find out about the families, the
Right.
people that actually are living there, because maybe they don't have good credit and can't pass a security deposit run or something like that and
Right.
get into a house, or they're waiting on the Section 8 line or something like that,
Or that's just a part of their culture. And what I realized was every one of our families, every one of our neighbors has a certain culture about it. And sometimes that's our whole world. So, that's why I try my best not to judge anybody. I try my best not to really, whatever situation a person is in, I can't judge them because I've never been where they are. So, but you're absolutely right. Whatever the situation was that caused them to be there, that was their life.
I think something important you just said, is your ability to understand sometimes that you have not been in somebody else's shoes, so you can't really understand what it's like to be them, to where it's some people, they don't even have that level of like compassion or understand. It's just like, you know what? No. Like,
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. When I was speaking about that situation and sharing my concern about what was the plan for these families, most people agreed and said, you're right, we don't want another 100 families on the street. But there was actually one woman that said they're getting what they deserve. Have planned better. And I'm thinking what a lack of compassion for our brothers and sisters. I've made some bad decisions. I made some poor choices too. But I don't think anybody deserves to struggle and to be in a situation where they're living on the street, especially when there's so many resources available in our city.
Agreed. And we kind of got to do a better job of connecting people to those resources. And that's something that the city should definitely be a part of. Because one thing that is noted in Lorain is that there's a lot of duplication of services and efforts from our nonprofit organizations, the county community organizations, and that the one thing, that could kind of bring all of this under one umbrella, at least to do some directing, is the city.
You're absolutely right. And one of my big pet peeves is the fact that we have so many resources that go unused, unexhausted, yet we continue to have need. I mean, how does that happen? I sit on probably a dozen different boards, and it's not unique to our city. It's something that just happens. And obviously, you're never going to have, it'd be a challenge to have total balance. But I'm of the thought that whatever resources we have, before we worry about or before we spin our wheels trying to access new things, let's leverage what we have. And that's one of my concerns with, again, our current administration. I don't know if you said you didn't read the paper that much, but we just sent back, and I get people that text me and Facebook me and give me information, and then I partner that with what I read in the paper. We've sent back millions of dollars of grant dollars because we've either mismanaged them or we haven't found a use for them.
Now, I do think I read something about that, and I believe that the administration partially said something about the previous administration and tried to back it up to them, even though they've been.
So there were two different answers, and there was on two different stages. The first stage was at the LELA, Lorain County Landlord Association. I brought that to the attention of the organization, and the incumbent basically said, well, that's not my fault. That was council that decided we don't want to use these dollars to renovate a house for $130,000 when it's only worth $30,000. I'm assuming those numbers are extreme. But that was his explanation the first time. The second time it was brought up, he said, well, it was a mismanagement, or one of his staff people said it was a mismanagement by the current administration. So my whole thing is, if you're gonna, there's a lot of things that this current administration has taken credit for from a previous administration. So it's almost like
right. Exactly.
Take some accountability. If you're going to take credit for something that someone else did, also take accountability. And it's challenging for me to think that 4 years later that we could keep blaming a prior administration. We need to get past that. But ultimately, regardless of who's there now, we need to continue to leverage every dollar, every resource we have available, because we have a lot of need.
One of my biggest problems with the incumbent being reelected is the fact that at this time last year, he didn't even know if he wanted to be the mayor of Lorain for another 4 years, and that kind of it kind of makes me lose faith in somebody as a leader, where it's kind of like, well, you know what, I don't even know if I really want to be doing this, but I guess I'll give it another go at it.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's the big difference between politicians and community servants like you and I.
Right.
We're here for the long haul. With a title, without a title, win the mayorship, we're going to continue to do what we do in the community, where politicians are just focused on their next endeavor,
right?
Their next election, whatever that is. And I'm not hating. Politicians do what politicians do. We do what we do. But that, in my opinion, that's the big difference is whether I'm the mayor or not, I know evenings and weekends, and sometimes I'll take my work time to do what needs to be done in this community to help the people of my city. I don't have to be sitting on the 7th floor, where politicians, if they're not in that particular position,
you're going to find another job.
Right. They're not here.
Yeah.
And ultimately, the challenge there is that, unfortunately, it seems like every time they do something, it's to chase headlines, not to not to really meet the needs. So that's why there's no comprehensive plan.
No pun intended. Not to chase headlines. If somebody, average citizen, came up to you and was just like wanted a short, simple answer, like, well, if you want me to vote for you, what you gonna do for me? What would you tell them?
The same answer that I've given probably half the people I've spoken to. And the reality is, what they ask is, well, how are you going to change the city? How are you going to make things better? I let them know, I can't. One guy cannot change a city of 64,000 people. But guess what? If we're working together and the guy down the street is working with us and the person, over on the next block is working with us, that's where we're going to have real change. I don't care who you put on the 7th floor. No one has that much influence that they can change a whole city by themselves.
Right.
But you surround yourself by a strong staff, and you engage, again, what our biggest resource is, the 64,000 people in the city, and that's how we make a difference. So personally, I have a lot to give, but it's not going to truly be impactful without a lot more people buying into this.
Yes, it's a team effort, absolutely. Go ahead, Ty.
I guess my question would be going back to, like you said, about the riverfront, and you said you had plans for that. What's the plan for the Renaissance building?
Which building? The
hotel.
The hotel.
The big hotel here.
I would love to see, personally, we need a hotel in this city.
Right.
It hurts me. I mean, every time we throw a big party here, thousands of people come in. At the end of the show, thousands of people drive right out.
Right.
That's painful to me because we could, and then, again, no comprehensive plan. Throwing the parties is great, and I went to Rocking on the River. I've been down there, and I love to see the energy, but we need to build more around it.
Well, we talked about this a lot during the summer because we for those of you who don't know, we'll restate it where we're at. We're at 422 and 426 Broadway Avenue. We're right across the street from Black River Landing, so we're right front and center for Rocking on the River, Rover Fest,
International Festival,
the
whole
Firefish,
and all of these things. We're right there. And in some cases, for me, as a shop owner, it hurt my business. In some cases, because it would take the parking right away from me. Now, I understand the advantage of having a bunch of people come, but basically what I'm trying to say to people is that the people who come to go to these events, they're going to those events. There's nothing that's really like encouraging them to walk around in the streets. And I'm not saying that that's necessarily like the city's responsibility to make sure that it's happening, but it is their responsibility to kind of make an effort to inform the shop owners about what's going to be going on, how they could possibly take advantage of it, how you could possibly be a vendor. I had nobody from the Firefish Festival come down, and people who are associated with that, they've been in my store before, so they know I'm there. But and you've been in my studio. It's as artsy as you can get,
right.
So you would think that it's a perfect match to be a part of it in some type of capacity, but you cut the street off right at 5th Street, you close our block out of it, and stuff just happens. And it's like people, you just look at it in the paper and you're like, oh, great for Lorain, everybody's benefiting, but everybody's not really benefiting from it. The Port Authority benefits, and that's owned by the county, so the county benefits from the direct gate that the Port Authority's getting, and the surrounding businesses, it's not like everybody's trying to come and check out what's going on at the Lifestyle Studio when they go down to Roverfest.
Well, I think you bring up a great point, and the easiest way to start moving things forward, in my opinion, is two easy things. Number one, communication, and and that's where I see, we talked about the website. In my opinion, our city website should be the hub, the communication hub for every establishment in the entire city. Whether you're a nonprofit organization, whether you're a small business, whether you're an industry, whether you're just a concerned citizen, that website should be a communication hub. That means if I have something going on as a small business owner, I should be able to post something on there and share it with the rest of the city.
Right.
And if I want to know what's going on in the city, it should be very easy for me to go on there and figure out what's going on. We don't have that. We're far from that yet, but it's simple. And that's the two things that I think are going to change the city drastically, very quickly, is a good communication stream and an understanding or creating an environment, a collaborative environment, an understanding that none of us are on an island. All of us depend on everybody else in the city. So if whatever the organization is that's doing something downtown, we need to communicate and collaborate with everyone else down here. And that's how, I mean, again, two very simple concepts, but for whatever reason, it's not our current reality.
Right. You got some time?
No, I'm good.
I know. I got a feeling. I know what Ty wanted to ask. And this is my next question. It's not even really a question. I'm just gonna give you an open forum to make a comment on it. But
how much time I got?
no. A couple. Take as much time as you need. I just want to know your general thoughts and opinions. But it's a subject that's very near and dear to a lot of our listeners on since1974radio.com. But they want to know about issues 2 and 3.
Yes, sir.
They want to know kind of what one is versus the other one, and where does Tim Carrion stand?
So issue 2 is going to be a lot quicker to discuss. Early on, I was all about issue 2 because it was on the surface and all the way, I mean, pretty deep into it. It's about stopping big dollar investors from leveraging our Constitution to create a monopoly.
Right.
They did it with the casinos, and they're attempting to do it now with a $3.2 billion industry, which is the marijuana industry. Personally, I don't think that that's healthy for our community here in Lorain or in general. So, but it's my understanding that issue 2, as you dig deeper, also takes away our rights as citizens to have an opportunity to try to change things in our community at the state level.
Okay.
So, and it's anything that's taking away any rights or any power from me or any other citizen, I'm totally against. So issue 2, that's the base, that's the easy one. Issue 3 is a little bit more complex because there's several pieces to issue 3. So when it comes to medical marijuana, I think that there is a need to open that up and to allow people that have health issues, health concerns, to leverage that option or that resource to help their ailment. Recreational marijuana I have concerns about currently because I don't think our city, our current situation, I don't think we're prepared for it. I mean, we're currently battling a huge heroin epidemic, which unfortunately our community, our current administration and our community leaders have, up until most recently, turned a blind eye to it. And as a matter of fact, there were 2 opportunities to bring a treatment center here to our city, and both times our current administration and our current council voted it down, which truly concerns me. But again, I don't think that currently we're prepared to deal with the other social ills that would come with the opportunity for people to engage in recreational marijuana use, especially the exposure that our young people would have to it. But the big one for in terms of issue 3 for me is the monopoly that would be created. The fact that you would have 10 drug lords across the state controlling a projected $3.2 billion industry is a big no for me.
Yeah.
So I already voted, and I voted no for issue 3.
There you go. Well, before we get out of here, I wanted to give you the opportunity to just look into the camera and to talk to the people out there. And this is your shot to tell people why, if they haven't made up their mind yet, why they should vote for you.
So it's a little bit, it's pretty basic. What we have going on here is a sincere movement to empower you, to bring resources to you, to connect with you, the people of the city, and truly start making a difference. It's not about Tim Carrion. It's not about any one individual. It's about all of us. And this entire time for a year now, a year and 2 months, I've been talking about the 64,000. I've been talking about every one of us in the city that plays. I mean, number one, there should be balance in terms of us receiving resources, but also we all need to play a role. So every time someone approaches me and says, how are you going to make things better? I put it right back on them and let them know, how are you going to make things better?
Right.
Because it's not about me. Yeah. We need to do this together. And rather than say, this is why you should vote for me, I'm saying this is a call to action. This is a call to action to you, the citizens of the city, to understand that we have to be about Lorain. I mean, Lorain, when I was growing up, we used to be proud. We didn't have much.
Right.
But we were proud for the little bit we had. We took care of what we had. And it concerns me that there's a lack of pride. And in many cases, it's the opposite. We're embarrassed, or there's a negative feeling about our city and where we live. And I mean, I got people, my neighbors, that say, well, I'm really from Amherst, or I'm really.
Oh, yeah.
Which it shouldn't be that way. We need to have Lorain Pride again. I think you even sell a Lorain Pride shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Come down to 422, 426?
Yeah, I'm at 426 Lifestyle Studio. We got them Lorain Pride shirts for you. Also, as you can see, I'm always representing Lorain.
Love it. So this whole movement, this whole campaign is a call to action to the 64,000 people in this city for you to understand that we all need to be part of the team. And we all need to be dressed and on the field. It's not about being on the bench. It's not about being on the sidelines. And what I'm asking you to do is come out of your comfort zone, just like I did when I decided to run for mayor. This isn't what I normally do, but I realized in order for there to be true change, in order for there to be a true impact in the community, I had to come out of my shell a little bit and do this. I'm asking you to do the same thing.
All right, y'all.
Brother, thank you for stopping through since 1974radio.com.
I appreciate the invitation. This was fantastic.
Yeah, awesome,
and after we win on November 3rd, I want to come back so we could talk again.
Awesome.
I heard that.
Awesome.
I'm definitely voting for Tim Carrion, and I would encourage you to do so also. Me personally, I feel like of all the candidates right now, you are the one that is most relatable to all of our different
issues.
Diverse cultures. You know what I mean? And issues. You're a minority. You're a business owner.
Veteran.
A veteran. A father. You know what I mean? So
Activist.
And
Should I keep going?
And you
No,
and you know, my thing with Tim is you didn't just start seeing Tim at these events over the last year. You know what I mean? Tim has been active in the community for years. That's one thing throughout this process. I've talked to a whole bunch of people. You know, your David Towers, your Wilkins Santiago, C.D. Dre. You know, and it's these people who have these stories about Tim Carrion helping them out.
And I want to say one thing about that, and that's one thing that we bring to the table that no one else brings is we're connected to the influencers in the community that aren't mainstream. When the names you just mentioned, those are guys that have a ton of influence in the community that aren't connected to the 7th floor.
Right.
And that's what I realized. And as a matter of fact, I met with C.D. Dre about a year ago, blew his mind because I told him, I need you.
Right.
In order to be truly effective in this city, I need to be connected to the streets again.
Right.
And I'm somewhat removed from the streets because, whatever else I do. But I realize that in order for me to be effective as a leader, I need to connect with other influencers in the city to connect with everybody. It can't just be about what's going on downtown.
It's real spit, y'all.
Real spit.
So we need y'all to get out. But like Tim said, no matter what happens on election day, this movement, it keeps going strong. He's down with the 440 movement, the whole Midwest movement. He's down with since1974radio.com. Once again, brother Tim Carrion, thank you for coming through. I wish you the best of luck over the next week. We got some more conversation to have with y'all, and we got our big Halloween party going on this weekend. So we will be right back after this quick musical break.
They just don't listen to this world and they shut the door. Wonder why we custom for us, they
legendary. Creating this priority. No frost, this seniority. Elder Scrolls had a bold burrows. Upbringing thorough. Top authority. Black Superman. Black Jesus. Niggas. Black royalty. Single parent home. Dying didn't spoil me. Grind under a bracket. Black gold. Oil. Texas T as if I'm JT. 16s I quarterback. High efficiency with striking targets. I'm throwing that. Owning rap. I own the game. Sooner on the map. Ownership. You hear the owner all over these tracks. This my legacy. I'm all in. I hustle. I'm soulful voices, entertainment, brains, brand muscle. Built from ground up. Foundation don't crumble. Remain humble. God up when we stumble.
From an international city, Lorain, Ohio, my people say waiting your love. Lorain, Ohio, heart of it all, and you know deny I'm proud. The home of the Titans, you can't deny it. No one can do it better than us. This is where I'm from.
And I got it. Go get it with Spotted. Since mobbing with Dorian Fleming and Lawrence Thomas. Paul Williams, Alexander Henderson, constant. Before hip-hop culture was prominent and consumed my conscious. Life was with SOSC. My cousin Fat Man, lay your flat like welcome man. If you was coming for me, all I get is love. Ain't no one gunning for me, all I give is love. Don't worry about running from me, no fear. I'm a Fields Chapman, cheers. My confidence came from familiar, not money again. Cars that I steer, making glass clear, fast as I live. Like Bron, I came back, cavalier. About to have it this year, when they have it. That was rampant, somewhat rampant, rapid. Like heartbeats during panic. So size antics, symbol blimp you by good gear. When you really look at it, things ain't always how they appear. When you boss up, peers are no longer your peers. And your enemy start as Judas is all in your ears. Understand Satan is near. Lord bless us when these devils interfere.
I'm from an international city, Lorain, Ohio, my people say it with me in love. This is where I'm from. My people just show me some love.
Now that the sun is out, let's see what the rain's about. I'm playing basketball and knuckleheads be wildin' out. Let's take a ride on the south side, dirty 30. The girls be fly, the guys spitting game, nothing nerdy, cute little Missy Boo. Sexy in her halter top, cause later in the club, baby girl makes the body rock. Let's take it to the east side, let's ride. When G Street and Massachusetts both collide. Where the happiness, thugs get the gaffling. Boys and girls hooking up like they were raffling. To the west side, got pocket in my stereo. Puerto Rican low ride, pushing out their reggaeton. I'm about to make it known. I represent 11 home. I peep a shorty licking on her ice cream cone. Caramel skin, color tone, walking home from El Capone. No need for her to be alone. Lorain, Ohio, this is home.
An international city, Lorain, Ohio, my people say it with me in love. Lorain, Ohio, heart of it all, ain't no denying I'm proud. The home of the Titans, you can't deny it. No one can do it better than us. This is where I'm from.
I barely can breathe when I got shot, I thought I was dead. I barely made it up out of my hospital bed. I barely can see that my girl and my kids in the room on the side of my mother. I opened my eyes and I saw my auntie and barely can tell her I love her. Barely live to see another day. Man, I barely got another pass. Coach barely kept me in the game. Damn it, barely was another cash. I barely could have been fucked up. The bullet really barely came out. I know the pussy nigga wouldn't kill her. He barely wanna pull a thing out. I swear I barely beat the case with sin. Fought her with him through the thick and thin. They barely found me guilty of the gun. They was trying to give a nigga 10. My pops had a left jump shot before we barely even hit the pipe. I bet my mama take him out the fifth. It barely down there took his life. So from me on my graduation, he can barely look me in the eyes. I barely wanted to forgive him, but I could tell her he apologized. I swear to God, when Uncle Damon died, it really hurt it. I can barely maintain. I grew up watching how he kept it G. Now I can't help but do the same thing. I barely can breathe when I got shot. I thought I was dead. I barely made it up out of my hospital bed. I barely can see that my girl and my kids in the room on the side of my mother. I open my eyes and I saw my auntie and barely can tell her I love her. Had to hit the yard, they call me with the hammer. Then they barely let me out the slammer. A nigga want it, I'ma go bananas. I just bought a chopper with a black banana. I'm too focused, I ain't on the drama, but still I'm living by the code of honor. I barely kick it with my baby mamas when they think of cash, all they see is comma. My little cousin caught another case, and he was barely home for 90 days. They found the gun and locked him in the cage, and now you looking at a lot of days. I was barely home, fresh on parole, back when Deuce was bringing that bag through. I barely even had cash to, but I just did what I had to. My old friends are my old friends, but I hope they bubble and they stuck without me. They probably barely have the luck without me. I feel you barely gave a fuck about me. I hate to barely say a nigga name. Terrell Williams wrote a statement on me, and I can never show respect to homie. I'm barely here to tell my testimony. Said I'm barely here to tell my testimony. Said I'm barely here to tell my testimony. I barely can breathe when I got shot. I thought I was dead. I barely made it up out of my hospital bed. I barely can see that my girl and my kids in the room on the side of my mother. I opened my eyes and I saw my auntie and barely can tell her I love her. Father time, father time, father time, father time, father time. Jealousy, envy, hey. Sometimes that's the only thing that stops us from making it to the gates. But life goes on. Father time. Rollin' super clean, trying to be like my daddy. Do some D's on that bitch and went and bought me a caddy. Now I got fake ass friends and go digging tricks. Who always eating at the table, but they ain't bring shit. Niggas know they ain't real. Boy, you know that you plastic. Split them like gymnastic, make you look like Thriller Jacket. When I used to call, you never would pick up. Now you done sold the fuck out and you all washed up. Money and the power supposed to be ours, but you a coward. Now you living on the street and got your nose full of powder. My brother's keeper, nigga, know he ain't the truth. We was supposed to share the top, you tried to kill me on the roof. Nigga, we sharp as a missile, they act like they miss you, but really they don't. Niggas are really a diss you, they act like they get you, but really they won't. A bunch of stupid niggas, blind lead the blind. But the only thing you couldn't stop was Father Time. Spend your whole life chasing dollar signs, but you was still the last at the finish line. You wasn't on it back then, so never mind. Only thing you couldn't stop, that was Father Time. Look at mom doing everything they said I couldn't. A nigga try to stop me, need a silver bullet. Everything I ever saw, I put it in my rhyme. Only thing you couldn't stop, that was Father Time. Dream by gold chains and causes European, never see them like a DM. All your checks go to your BM. Pretty bitches and bragging riches. I read in my scriptures, but snitches end up in ditches. We rush them like bitches. Look at mama, I made it, just like you knew I would. You would think that into smoking way I lift up my hood. Just the picture I painted, I know sometimes it look jaded. I think you almost fainted when you heard me on stations. All these bitches love me, and all these niggas hate me. While my gun ain't got no safety, I pull it now, it's an HD. Is money your God? I see you worship golden calves. You look at your reflection, but all you see is the past. Born to be a poet, and everybody knows it. When I hold the mic, I move the people like I'm Moses. Guns and roses, niggas oppose us. You get the notion, living them frozen. My nigga, you know you ain't with us. You spot like 30 day stickers, Father Time. Spend your whole life chasing dollar signs, but you was still the last at the finish line. You wasn't on it back then, so never mind. Only thing you couldn't stop, that was Father Time. Look at mom doing everything they said I couldn't. A nigga try to stop me, need a silver bullet. Everything I ever saw, I put it in my rhyme. Only thing you couldn't stop, that was Father Time. But the only thing you couldn't stop was Father Time. But the only thing you couldn't stop was time. Father. But the only thing you couldn't stop was Father Time. Father Time. A bunch of stupid niggas, blind lead the blind. But the only thing you couldn't stop was Father Time.
Hey, yo, you are rocking with Since1974radio.com, home of the Midwest best independent hip-hop and R&B. This is the I Am the DJ show. We will be back with you shortly. While we were listening, this the homeboy Chris B. Holla!
What's gang shit, baby? What the fuck you niggas talking about? Shit, we got money on the couch. Me and Coop, we bout to blast off. $100 for my draw, show my ass off. They say Cleveland dead. Bitch, please. Real niggas, it's the recipe. Henny in my cup. Who wanna sip? Nah, fuck y'all. I do what please me. Fuck everybody. Fuck a bitch. My nigga ride shot it. No question about it. I'm from the game. She screaming every night. No, she can't forget my name. I'm just saying. Old gang with me. Leave your bloody on the couch like your name Ricky. Groupie hoes. I get a lot of those. That's just cause the razzle dazzle. Get out. Holla. More of the story is who gon' stop 'em. Holla. More of the story is who gon' stop 'em. Woof gang. Woof gang. Woof gang. What you know about it? Woof gang. Woof gang. Woof gang. What you know about it? Let me pour my drink right quick. Feeling good, by the way. Okay, I'm ready. Cashing out on my visa. Bad bitch Moesha. Got a bitch I see on Fridays. Call her Felicia. Felicia need a preacher. Cause she bad as hell. She be singing in the bed. I think that bitch thinks she Adele. Let me wind my step. Never mind, cause if I fall, guaranteed this is some sex. 100 niggas deep. Woof gang. 20 bitches on me. I look like Booty Tang. Hollin'. Don't try me, baby. I can probably pay your rent with these Nikes, baby. I love them Spanish girls. Y'all so feisty, baby. Take her to my room with quarter. Call me Spike Lee, baby. More of the story. Who gon' stop me? Real niggas, so they tryna Tupac me. More of the story is who gon' stop 'em. More of the story is who gon' stop 'em. Woof gang. Woof gang. Woof gang. What you know about it? Woof gang. Woof gang. Woof gang. What you know about it? And it's that gang, baby. Woof gang. Rothschild Club. Yeah, we holla. But who gon' stop us? Get out. Woof gang. What you know about it?
Every city do it big like this. They don't flip through them chips like this, boy. Big dog shit. I done came up, they don't like that. I done came up, they don't like that. Suckin' nigga better get with the program. I come here to take this rap shit with both hands. Even at a red light, dollar goes in. Dope shit, hoes wanna stick they nose in. I should record at the hospital. I'm that sick, man, they need to let the doc get them. They throwing shade, trying to cool off a hot nigga. They talk about what they gon' do when they not finna. Hey, and then it changed all of a sudden. Remember when they said I wouldn't make it for nothing? Now I start the engine with the brake and the button. Got the bitches trying to create some discussion, nigga. I won't shine, cause I don't sleep. See, I'm on mine, so I'm on my feet. If you ain't blind, then you should see. You could get out here and get it like me. Know I'm talking about. Hey, who you know live like this? Like done came up, got my change up, never changed up, never in the hood with my chain tucked up. Never been a lame fuck, keep the thing tucked. Ball on the nigga just to fuck his whole day up. Started at the bottom, now I'm way up. For the ones sleeping on me, I'ma stay up. Grind long nights, hold, click the boss type. I don't do the all go, look I rock all ice. The shit you tryna do, I done did twice. Ahead of my time, like I done lived twice. Boy, bye look, bitch, you know just who we are. Yeah, my rollie cost a car, and my homie bought the bar. By the bar. A lot of niggas hate, but the real C niggas on the grind, they be proud of it. They be proud. Am I getting money? You ain't gotta think twice. Some shit be obvious. For one, who you know live like this, like this. Every city do it big like this, like this. They don't flip through them chips like this, boy. Big dog shit, man. I done came up, they don't like that. They don't like that shit. I done came up, they don't like that. What these niggas tryna do? I been done it, I ain't even mad at them, dude. Get money, cause I came out of nothing, I ain't even have 100. Sweatpants and some dirty nights, I was dummy, man. That's a long story, don't know where to start with it. Still a nappy head nigga, I just put a part in it. Couple years ago, we was at the park with it. Now we burning shit down, I'm committing arson. And bitch, I'm walking funny, cause them bands on me right now. Wish I had some extra hands on me right now. Last year they didn't see me, now they on me like, bitch, ask me how I'm living, and I said lifestyle, baby. I don't stop, I just go. I got one pace, and it ain't slow. And if you real, and you should know, you gotta build this shit from the flow. Know I'm talking about. Hey, who you know live like this, like this? Every city do it big like this, like this. They don't flip through them chips like this, boy. Big dog shit, man. I done came up, they don't like that. They don't like that shit. I done came up, they don't like that.
just me and you and a bottle of remain. It's just me and you and a bottle of remain. It's just me and you and
You are now listening to AJ Beats.
Just caught a body about a week ago. Slept him in his whip, left him leaking, yo. About a quarter brick, and he beat me, foe. Glocko Popolari squeeze the trigger, yo. Just caught a body about a week ago. Slumped him in his whip, left him leaking, yo. About a quarter brick, daddy beat me, foe. It's not a fucking game when we beefing, yo. Gotta bang on sight when I see you, ho. Fuck your whole clique and everybody with you. If they acting like they want it, they can get it with you. Just before the sun, that's a nigga model. Catch him in the club, serve him with the bottle. When he hit the floor, jams on him. Got my young boys, I'm scared off him. Top of the food chain, the money click. Make you think it's 96 the way we moving shit. We got the loud, the naked raw. This is one-stop shopping, what you looking for? A nigga come correct, or we gon' murk that ass. Don't want no EPT, niggas straight cash. Them blue hundreds, high nigga want it. Say them singles for them strippers, but we don't want it. No, and free my nigga Monday cause he's innocent. And fuck, he never pay his rent, nigga. Respect the mighty dollar, yo. Blue 20 bands about a week ago. Glocko Popolari squeeze the trigger, yo. Just caught a body about a week ago. Slept him in his whip, left him leaking, yo. About a quarter brick, daddy beat me, foe. Glocko Popolari squeeze the trigger, yo. Just caught a body about a week ago. Slumped him in his whip, left him leaking, yo. About a quarter brick, daddy beat me, foe.
Lady K, I'm a cute chick. Bitches wanna smack me, but don't do shit. When I breathe through, no, I got a full clip. Run down on me, don't expect to bust the lip. Nigga, flash your money, no, I really want this dick. Eat my pussy real good, stick your thumb in it. Fuck him real good, now he got my government. Nigga, please, no time for that love you shit. Sirens start appearing when I flash out. Yellow tape start stretching when I spaz out. I swear to God, I'm about to move south. Cause now I'm clicking bitches hating on my trap house. I've been smoking weed since like the 6th grade. Vanilla Dutchess was the shit back in the staircase. Mama said, lose your click, they go both ways. Now we grown and these bitches going both ways. Old niggas love how I've grown B. Old bitches still acting salty. I don't give a fuck, only God can judge me. Don't be mad that you still live in OV. My BK niggas all love me. Ice pick a hole in your tummy. Crossbreed nigga R.I.P. Dougie. Free my white nigga snatched by the first beat. And I'm a lone soldier, I don't need company. Disinvite worldwide, bitch, come for me. Catch me if you can while I run the whole city. 5'4" long hair and I'm mad pretty. Nice ass, small waist and some big titties. Hating niggas can't touch, lame bitches can't sit with me. Respect the mighty dollar, yo.
Blue 20 bands about a week ago. Glocko Popolari squeeze the trigger, yo. Just caught a body about a week ago. Slept him in his whip, left him leaking, yo. About a quarter brick, daddy beat me, foe. Glocko Popolari squeeze the trigger, yo. Just caught a body about a week ago. Slumped him in his whip, left him leaking, yo. About a quarter brick, daddy beat me, foe.
We back. Check. We are back. This is the IamThaDJ Show since 1974, radio.com. I am the DJ. Ty House is producing.
What up, though? What it do?
As usual. Man, I would like to First, let me say that last song that we just played is a new one from Lord Grants. What's the name of that one, Ty?
About a week ago.
About a week ago, featuring his daughter, and that was a hot one. So if you're a fan of Lord Grants, you definitely gonna rock with that one. It's gonna be in rotation on since1974radio.com. Like to give a big shout out and thank you to Mr. Tim Carrion for coming through and chopping it up with us, having some real talk, because that's what this city needs more than anything, is some real straight up, straightforward, honest conversation about what's going on. So mad respect to him for coming through. You know, I feel like we reached out to a lot of candidates as far as, you know, coming in to speak and doing advertisements, this, that, and the other, and really didn't get any type of response.
Right.
So, you know, this is the Midwest best in hip hop and R&B, and we do keep it 300 on here.
Ha!
And, you know, it's not exactly youth programming at times. Depends on, you know, how you go about parenting. You know, we get a little silly sometimes.
Yeah.
But for the most part, we have an overall positive message. So I think that this is a great format to have the type of discussion that we just had with Tim Carrion, and to any other candidate that may want to get their message out to our audience, which is an audience that you may not be reaching out to right now and you may be sleeping on.
Right.
So, you know, hit us up. You can hit Ty up at
Show.
Ty. Oh, show.
We go. Now you can go Ty House, TYHOUSE at since1974radio.com. That's since SINCE 1974 RADIO.com.
And you can hit me up at IamThaDJ THAIAMTHADJ at gmail.com. That is also my Twitter handle. That is also my IG handle, and that is also my Facebook handle. So I have the I Am The DJ, lock it on, lockdown, the highly acclaimed. This weekend it is going down. I haven't thrown a party for real in about three years. It's been 3 years since I threw a party for real, like, you know what I'm saying, like that I was really active in. It was my 26th birthday party, and it was off the chain.
Word.
Because that's how parties are supposed to be. So it's gonna be a costume bash, Halloween night.
That's not a scream.
That shit sounded kind of scary to me when it came on. I was like, damn, that's okay. I'm okay with that for Halloween. Ooh, that's a Halloween right there. Yeah, it's going down Saturday night. We got some surprises, man. We're going to be at the Lifestyle Studio. So I'm definitely going to have to give away a couple of Lifestyle Studio t-shirts.
Bow.
I'll probably give away a jersey.
Bow.
You know, might give away a hat. Who knows? It depends on how generous I'm feeling. But definitely want to make sure that we get some sexy ladies out. I've had several confirm their attendance.
Ooh.
And definitely can't forget one of our lovely co-hosts, Alicia, who stopped by last week.
Right.
And checked this out. And, you know, if we would have had a normal opening to the show, I probably would have started talking about last week's show.
Right.
Because and the first thing that I want to say about that is thank you, Ty.
Right on.
Thank you for, you know, first of all, in giving me the initial invitation to come through and to be a part of the Since 1974 radio team.
Right on.
And then, you know, everything that we've done so far, and my first remote broadcast from the Lifestyle Studio. So, you know, without getting too, you know, too deep in everything here, But just for me, as a person who aspires to be exactly what I'm doing, you know, being a DJ, not only from the live music aspect, but from the host, entertainer, MC perspective, and also being a designer, a creator,
Right.
a store owner, and to be in that moment where I'm doing everything at once.
Right.
And it's like, you know what? This right, like nobody is giving me a check to do what I'm doing right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? The same way that when you clock into a job at work, you know, you're like, you know what? I don't care what happens these next 15 minutes, but I'm on the clock and I'm making X amount of dollars. You know, it's not like that when you're in the business that we're in sometimes. And that was definitely one of those times. But I just felt like what I was getting paid, you know, as I'm sitting in my shop on my show interviewing guests that came through. Shout out to Jay Black. Shout out to Javon Terrence. Shout out to my homegirl Mandy. Again, shout out to Alicia. Shout out to STIG, So Throwed in the Game, homeboy Cleve, and Lil Busy, and Aaron D-Boy, DeSell, everybody that came through last week. It was a lovely time. If you haven't seen the show from last week, you can definitely check it out on since1974radio.com. All you have to do is scroll down. It'll probably be like the fourth or fifth one down by the time that you hearing this broadcast. But again, man, I just want to say I think that it was a great episode. We had some real strong guests. We had some good segments for you, and we're really trying to work on what we're doing here with the I Am the DJ show. I'm trying to bring to you a bunch of guests that you're gonna be interested in from different walks of life, not just the musicians. You see, over the last couple weeks, we've brought to you musicians, we've brought to you fashion designers, we've brought to you professional fighters, we've brought to you political candidates. I'm reaching out. I'm saying who else you want to hear from. Big shout out to one of our supporters, a guy who I'm really excited about bringing in a couple of weeks, whenever we can match our schedules up right. But shout out to the homie Robert Moore, who's an author, and I gotta get my hands on one of his books. You know who you met, Rob?
I don't know.
He was at the thing that was at the park, the Love, Peace, and Soul Fest.
Okay.
He was there. I'm gonna make sure we get connected. He's definitely coming in. I've talked to him.
Cool.
He's definitely down. Tuesday nights work for him, so we're gonna bring him in, and I want to talk about what he's doing in the author world.
All right.
Because I've heard a lot of good things about his books. I haven't gotten my hands on one of them yet, but that's definitely coming up very soon in the future. To keep it rolling with the shout outs, man, I want to give a big shout out to the young homie, John Armstrong III, Jer Armstrong, the future.
The future.
That's what they call him, man. This little dude is 8 years old. He's about 60, 68 pounds, something like that. And he won Fighter of the Night on Saturday night at Sacred Heart out here on the south side of Lorain.
Okay.
They had a amateur boxing event, Night of Champions, where I think, man, there was at least 8 fights maybe with fighters from all over the Midwest. There were guys from Ohio, guys from Michigan. I think we might have had some fighters from Pennsylvania there, but definitely, I mean, there's guys came from the Dayton area, I know,
Okay.
Salem. There was guys from all over, and it was a treat to see these young guys. You know, everybody, these were all young amateurs. You know, I don't think anybody was over the age of 18, honestly. I think these were all like young dudes. And you had everybody from the little dudes like Jer and all the way up to some of the bigger guys. And shout out to Freddie from Freddie's Boxing Gym for holding it down. Shout out to our homeboy Wilkins. And that was one thing on last week's show, we had so much going on. I
Right.
forgot to mention him and give him a big shout out
Right.
for winning his fight
Bow.
the previous weekend before down in Louisville. It was a second round knockout.
Ugh. That's what he said.
That's what
Said
he
he
told
was gonna
you.
knock him
That's
out.
what he told you. And he's got another one coming up. I can't think of the date right now, but it is the day before Thanksgiving.
I want to say like the 24th.
Yeah, what would that be?
I want to say it's the 24th.
25th.
25th. Okay.
Yeah, so that's November 25th in Erie, PA. We are going to get him back on to talk about that fight. Probably, I mean, really, the sooner the better.
Right.
What I was talking to him about, though, was seeing if we could put together a trip.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You get the charter bus, you know, and you line up the price. You try to get everything included for him. I don't really know if you would want to do a round trip. I think it would be more effective, cost effective to bring everybody back that night, as opposed to staying out there. But you know, I hopefully there's enough time to put something like that together. But if not, definitely for the next one, we got to see some foresight ahead of time, because I think that would be something great for Lorain. You know, because you got a lot of people here that want to get out sometime and want to go do something else, something
Right.
different. And we need to get as many people to his fights as possible.
It's possible.
You know, to show some support for him. So, you know, if we could put together an event for people, you know, maybe throw in a complimentary Wilkins t-shirt designed from the Lifestyle Studio, of course.
Right.
We got those coming for you. But, you know, those are the types of things that we need to get popping off, because it connects everybody. And it's nothing but positive energy and fun and support. And we definitely need more of that. So,
Quick update. Chicago 71. Cleveland Cavaliers 64. End of the third quarter. Detroit Pistons 76. Atlanta Hawks 58. Into the third quarter.
I'm going to just put this out there. It's a good, you know what? I had a lot of fun filling in 2 weeks ago on the fourth quarter sports show, which is Friday nights, 10 p.m. to 12 a.m., midnight. It's a late night Friday show talking about sports.
Yeah.
And I filled in a couple weeks ago, and I had a great time. But I'm kind of glad that I'm not on there on a weekly basis, because, I mean, I'm just real pessimistic about sports right now. My Browns suck again. The Indians just, not only did the Indians just finish up another disappointing year, but I'm watching the Mets and the Royals in the World Series.
Yep.
The Mets and the Royals.
Passed you right on by.
So it's just kind of like, and then you got the Cavs. I can't get excited about NBA basketball until the playoffs.
To the playoffs. I'm so excited it started today.
You know what? I'm
now.
excited. I'm excited for the auxiliary fuckery that comes with the NBA.
Right.
You know what I mean? The memes and who got crossed up, who got dunked on.
Right.
You know, because I love the NBA. I love NBA culture, because out of all the sports, it's the one that's the most synonymous with hip-hop culture. And, you know, they really go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
That's why right now, when you think about Jordan and who's wearing Jordans, who's Jordan's biggest spokesman right now?
Nike.
No, but I'm saying what individual?
Oh shit! You got Chris Paul rocking the Jumpmans, Carmelo doing the Jumpmans. You got whole universities wearing Jumpmans.
If I went out, if you went out and you talk to these young people right now, you know who they gonna tell you?
Brian.
Jumpman, Jumpman, Jumpman.
You think so?
Jumpman. Jumpman, Jumpman.
Yeah.
Jumpman, Jumpman. Yeah.
They like these bronze too, though.
No, but what I'm telling you is that Drake.
Did you say is the most?
Yeah. that's why they having him do it. You know, cause he
is in the public
foreseeing
eye right now,
You know what I'm
man.
saying? Like they foreseeing. Did you peep in the Hotline Bling video?
Uh-huh.
He had Tim's on,
Right.
but he had the jump man on his neck because they
crazy,
understanding the connection between basketball
And hip hop.
and hip hop. Because that sneaker culture, that's
Right.
hip hop.
Oh yeah. All
And
day.
that's it's all one and the same, you know what I'm saying? So you know, me, man, I'm gonna meet Jordan one day. I'm gonna put that on my list because I just, you know, as a businessman, much respect to him.
right.
You know, I just want to know that I want to have a man-to-man conversation with him and know that in his own way, he's somehow giving back. You know what I mean? And at a reasonable rate. You know what I'm saying? Because with as much money as he's bringing in and as much as people have contributed to him,
Mm-hmm.
you know, doing a little sprinkle here and a little sprinkle there. I mean, who am I to tell another man what to do with their money? But it would be nice to see him. I don't know. Once again, I would just want to know, man to man, talking to Mike, like, are you putting money back in the hood, Mike?
I heard he's a butthead, man. Mike might not act like you asked about his money, man. He might punch you or something, man. You and Mike get to tussling, man. You be careful when you ask Mike that, man. Guard your grill. I heard he mean,
well,
bro.
you know, I want everybody to know in the future that I interview. You know, I'm not gonna put you in a crazy position or nothing, but I'm gonna ask real questions. You know, I thought Tim did a real good job
He did.
of answering the questions and being real and not really trying to be too politically correct. Because it's a couple things that we talked about that some people could misconstrue one way or the other and say that's not typically, you know, what you would hear a politician say or something like that.
Right, but is that a good thing or a bad thing? 'Cause you know,
yeah, it depends on what you want.
trying to
you
switch
know?
it up.
I know me personally, you know, I want somebody that's gonna be all the way real. Ty, did you see the video of I believe this was in South Carolina. It was in South Carolina. It's the girl sitting in class in high school and the cop comes in and
I skimmed by
arrests her.
it. Yeah. Okay.
You definitely have to watch that video. You know,
In class?
yeah, where the video picks up at, you can't tell anything that happened before this happened. But what you can definitely see is, I mean, they say she was resisting arrest. This is a high school.
Right.
And this is one of the school resource officers that's supposedly putting her under arrest for disrupting school. So she's sitting there in the video. You can just see she's sitting there. She's not like hitting him or, you know, but I guess resisting arrest, if the police officer's saying
Get your
get
ass
up and you're not getting up,
Right.
I guess that is resisting arrest. But it's at this point where it kind of goes somewhere where it shouldn't have gone, and he like yokes her up and throws her on the ground like a real life, you know. And this is a big dude officer. This is a small black girl, you know what I mean, a child,
Right.
and hems her up, throws her to the ground, then throws her like over to the like. Hey, I've read a lot of things and it says across the room. It wasn't really across the room. Like across the room is across the room. But he yoked her and he tossed her and he cuffed her. And I mean, it was very, very, very aggressive and in a lot of people's eyes, unnecessary force, which is something that police are being accused of, you know, on a daily basis, it seems like now. And we've talked about it a lot here. You know, I've talked about my desire to kind of see a whole revamping of police culture and what it really means to be a police officer and what the role of a police officer is and the whole way that you go about choosing the type of person who you want to be a police officer. Because again, when you see this guy, it's very militaristic.
Right.
You know, he's got He's got his flak vest on. You know
Right.
what I mean? He looks like he's ready to fucking go to war.
Right.
And he treats this girl as if she is a serious threat. You know, and the school has put out, you know, a statement that pretty much just says, kid was the video that you saw.
Whoa, wait a minute, brother.
Are you watching it?
Yeah. Hold on a second. Oh, okay. Whoa, man. Yeah, they got this in slow motion.
Beast mode, right?
Damn, he all could have broke her neck right there. Damn, slammed the whole table back.
I mean, I hope
Then
that girl
dragged
gets
her
broke
like an
off
animal or some shit.
big time. The school board, the police, whoever they need to, because you can't do that. You know what I mean? Like, if you send your child to school,
Right.
to school, you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
like,
but
like
you know
to
what,
school.
man? Did you repeat the reaction to everybody else in the
Just sitting
class?
there, just sitting there. The teacher just sitting there, like, like this is normal. I mean, me personally, I would have got up and been like, hell
Hey,
no.
yeah, I mean,
I'm out of here.
excited or something.
Yeah, I'd have been like, oh, and you know what? I think that is kind of an indication of where you were, because I know in other places in this country, in a certain classroom, you do that, and the kids might attack the police officer.
Quick.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
That was
it's not
kinda-
going
that
down like that everywhere
That was kind of harsh.
in America. But I mean, everybody, I mean, it's one of those things where you may not want to watch the video because it's like, oh, I don't watch stuff like that. But I think this is something that everybody has to see. You know, I wonder if you can't escape it. If in high schools and stuff, you know, I wonder what the conversations in high schools were like today regarding this. Now, you know, I've been out of high school for over 10 years now.
Right.
So it's starting to get blurry. You know what I mean? Like, it's starting to get blurry. We did have. Did you back in
Damn, here we go.
1974? Did you have school research officers? Back.
Well, seeing how I was 0 or maybe 6 months in 1974,
You know what I
know.
picture? I picture your high school days being like Lean on Me.
My high school days was kind of like Lean on Me from 88 to 92. I went to high school from 88 to 92.
Okay.
Did
they have the cops in the school?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
High school, elementary. I'm from Flint, man. We had cops in elementary, goddammit. We had riots. We had full-fledged school fights in elementary, bro.
You know what, Ty? We gonna have to do a whole kind of segment on that one day and talk about the riots, because there were like real life riots in Detroit, right?
That was in '68 though.
There wasn't none in the early '90s, like when they was doing the LA riots.
Nah, we was peaceful. I mean, you know, it was a few people that threw a couple of rocks and things like that, but it wasn't nothing like it was out in LA.
Okay,
you know
but the major ones in that area was in '68 before you was there.
Yeah, when they burnt up the east side. You know what I'm saying?
That was
Detroit
a real one, right?
Yeah, Detroit ain't never recovered from that, man.
Wow.
It's been downhill for that city ever since.
I mean, it's just crazy. But this again, this officer, you know, they've identified him. They know who he is.
Yeah. Bastard.
Man, you can't, like, I don't expect him to like go to jail or anything like that.
He not.
I don't expect that to happen. But I hope that girl gets broke off in a civil trial.
Yeah, give her some bread. She needs
like
some
they need to rename the school after her.
Bitch.
You know, like, man, dude,
frustrating, man.
There's just some horrible between that. Okay, between stuff like that. Okay, you got just general bullying type shit that goes on.
Right.
You got my man that built the clock. You know, did you hear about that?
That they thought was a bomb?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got stuff like that happening. You know, that type of profiling. You got school shooters.
It's a lot.
It's like, damn, dude, who wants to send their kid to school. And it's not just happening at public schools. You got shit happening at the private schools, parochial schools, charter schools.
I'm just gonna say that I'm blessed that, you know what I'm saying. And even though, like you said, it's not just in the urban communities, and most of it's not even really taking place. It's a lot different type of issues taking place in the urban schools, so much more than like the suburban schools where you a fear of motherfuckers shooting up the school or something like that.
Yeah.
You fear that in the urban school, but for like a whole totally different reason. You know what I'm saying? And I guess that's kind of hard to explain.
Man,
but
you know, and it's just, man, I've just really lived a very blessed life, man. Everybody goes through their shares of ups and downs, and at times, because you can only experience your life, so the worst thing that happens in your life is always just gonna seem like the worst fucking thing. But when I just sit back and look at my life and look at how I think about things and the things that I've experienced compared to other people, I just realize that I just lived a very blessed life, man.
keep on living, brother. Keep on living.
I've seen and I be right around bad shit. You know what I mean? But I just always stay kind of like elevated from it,
Right.
because that's not my focus.
I ain't never been sheltered. You know what I'm saying? And so when you say blessed, that's why I say keep on living, because to be since 1974, I'm blessed.
Right.
Because it's been a few instances in my life that I know I wasn't supposed to be here no more, or not just not supposed to be here, or supposed to be in that hotel for a long, long, long time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thankful to be here talking to y'all on the radio Monday through Friday, noon to 10 p.m. You know what I'm saying? I'm thankful to be in here with Dez. And is it damn November already with this Thanksgiving
Just
and thankful
about,
stuff?
Man. You know it is going to, once Halloween is over, it's gonna go like, and you got them babies. You gotta make sure you get Christmas
I'm on it,
together.
man. I'm on it, bro. Like I ain't got no babies. I ain't got no babies.
Hey,
my youngest is 8.
Come to the Lifestyle Studio and get them together.
Hey, since 1974, shirts for everybody, for the family,
for the whole fam, personalized.
Right.
You know what I was thinking about doing? How we've got the jerseys right here. I don't know. Are they on camera right now?
Yeah. No.
No, I'll grab them.
Yeah.
We're gonna do some merchandise similar to that. I'm thinking of doing a jersey, okay? Or just a shirt in a jersey style, but doing since 19 on the front and then 74 radio on the back side of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's all in one shirt, and then maybe put like the Afro Man logo on the arm or something.
Yeah, it'll be dope.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Throw a lifestyle logo or something on it. So
it's definitely going down. It's definitely going down.
we're going to definitely get the merchandise for you, because we are on a mission. You know, me personally, my show right now is probably like 4 or 5 months old. This is probably show number 21, something like that. So, you know,
it's internet radio time. I don't know if we was in for the award, and I'm cool with that, the nomination, because that bring in new fans too. But this is the time of the year where you get people staying at home and they listening.
Well, for people in the area, I mean the Cleveland area, Elyria, Lorain, definitely. I'm gonna have something coming for you on a weekly basis. I'm gonna try and get this Lyricist Lounge going. I want to give people an opportunity to get up on a stage and do their thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, regardless of whatever they got to say, because we tried to do this. People have tried to do it at different establishments, and you know it always seems to be a issue with the content, or you know with the crowd. You know, we know what that coded shit means. But at the Lifestyle Studio,
And on since 1974 radio,
you know, that's our house.
we do what we want to do.
You know,
We set the rules. Please believe there are rules though, but we set the rules.
definitely. So before we get out of here, man, one more time, I want to tell y'all about this Halloween Bash costume party coming this Saturday. We're going to have food. We're going to have drinks. We're going to have games. I'm giving shit away. I will have tight security in the building. I am the DJ.
Wear a costume.
What you going to be, Ty?
Dress up, man. I'm keeping that under wraps, bro. I told you my costume is next door, though. So it's in your studio.
Oh.
We gonna dress up in the lifestyle.
Bruh, I Saturday night I put together a nice referee outfit.
Okay.
After I got back from the boxing event, because you know I represented Lifestyle Studio at the boxing event, took some shirts with me.
Right.
Came back to the studio to bring everything back in. And was like, you know what, I'm about to go to this party. A friend of mine, shout out to Kristen and Jerry. Party was off the hook. They throw a Halloween party every year. You know, they had the house done all up. Like, shit was dope. So I'm like, you know, I got to throw on a costume. I'm like, I think I got a referee shirt in the back. You know, went and put on the referee shirt. You know, I got a NFL hat, threw my NFL hat on.
Right.
I'm like, oh, I just need some black sweats. Bam, black sweats right here.
There it is.
Lifestyle Studio on deck. Already had the shoes on.
Hey, speaking of parties,
Yeah.
how did the Javon Terrence?
Woo! Thank you for reminding me.
Whoa.
Yeah, man. Shot.
I didn't make it
out.
down there,
Happy 30th belated birthday to my man, Javon Terrence. Put it down Friday night. The thing about a Javon Terrence event, whether it's a fashion show, a party like that, you know, a photo shoot, any type of Javon Terrence
Well
event,
put together.
you know, it's always done with elegance, because that's something that we don't ever really talk about when he's here or nothing like that. But that dude, he's got a certain class about him, and when he does something, you know, he wants to make sure that he's presented in a certain light, and his brand is presented in this certain light, and he definitely does a good job of doing that. And there's always some exoticals in
Fuck
in the
me,
presence,
man. What was I doing?
Man, there was, you know, we might have a potential somebody who might want to come on and do some co-hosting.
Oh,
know,
you got some.
I did
you got
speak to a young lady,
Some beautiful ladies for the couch.
who was interested, because that's definitely coming, you know. But I don't want that to just be a remote thing. I want to get a young lady in here also.
We have a couch right out here.
Ooh, now that would be a lot easier
I mean,
shot to set up instead of taking it all away.
I mean, we just have to run some cords through the door.
That door opens too and goes over there?
I mean, I can open it. Yeah.
We might have to set that up. Not that, you know, I like this setup, but we got to switch it up sometimes. I think that's, you know, definitely depending on what guests we have. You know what? They could watch a shoot pool on the break.
Right.
You know, that would be interesting. So, man, once again, I'd like to thank Tim Carrion for coming through today, having a conversation. Like I said earlier, he's got my vote. I hope he's got yours, but not just because I'm telling you to vote for him. I hope that what you heard him say made you understand that he's just a regular dude out here.
Right.
That's just trying to make a difference. He's been talking with some other individuals who have come together and made a decision to try to do something, try to infiltrate the system, man. And he straight up said that. Like, that is not a mincing of words. Like, we are trying to infiltrate the system. You know, we need some of our people, and it's not a black thing. It's not
It's an international city thing.
White thing, Puerto Rican thing, an Arabic thing. It's a everybody thing. And that's what my man is saying, is that everybody has to be represented and heard from and understood and paid attention to. And we can't just serve one demographic We got to take care of everybody. And that's the only way that we're going to rise above this. And we talk about that all the time. And that is what we are about here on Since 1974 Radio.com.
Hey, real quick, you got the Mets leading 3-1 in the World Series, bottom of the sixth. The Cavaliers have took the lead. 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, 83-82.
Man, call me when it's time for the playoffs, man.
The Pistons 94, Atlanta Hawks 78. Opening night of the NBA playoffs. All right, there you go.
Make sure y'all tune in to Since 1974 Radio all throughout the week. We got nothing but the best of the Midwest hip-hop and R&B on the independent side. You might also catch a couple industry cuts in there mixed in between. Something else, too, that you will find is some dope interviews from some different artists. I like listening to the interviews and finding out about some of the artists from the Flint area that I'm not as familiar with. And I keep telling Ty, we definitely, I'm coming out there because I know it's got to be some people out there that's done tuned in to the I Am the DJ show. I appreciate your support no matter where you are. And we got to get people active. I want to see some people on Twitter, Facebook, IG, wherever you at. Come find me. I am the DJ, IamThaDJ DJ at gmail.com, at Twitter, IG, Facebook. I don't do Snapchat. Not yet, at least. That might be the last frontier for me.
Coming soon.
Yeah, coming soon. If I do that, one of the other ones got to go, man. I can't be all them places at one time. But my name's Desmond. I'm the DJ, and this was my show. I had fun. I will be back next Tuesday. Same black time, same black place. Since 1974 Radio.com. I'm out. Stopping till I see every dime. Loving me ain't never easy. I know they see the pain in his eyes, and he riding if a nigga cross the line. Tell me what you want from a nigga. Tell me what you want from a nigga. Loving me ain't never easy. Nah, loving me ain't never easy. Nah. Day after day, I wait. Open my eyes slow. If life is worth more than money, then what you grind for? Addicted to the chase. Fake friends in your face. They only come around if you put food on their plate. It's a wicked little cycle, cause you need them too. If they wasn't moving your pack, you wouldn't fuck with them dudes. So who's wrong? Shit, life goes on. Who's strong is the niggas with the money to burn. For more burners and these clown niggas get left back. They can't earn, make the same old mistakes as before. They never learn. Being broke is the root of evil. An idle mind is the devil's too. If you play the game, just know the rules. It's a war going on outside, so pick a side. Better fall back, evaluate shit, and choose wise. Cause I'm barely getting sleep, making moves, trying to eat. Believe me, my nigga, being me ain't never easy. Sometimes I get lost in my grind. I ain't stopping till I see every dime. Loving me ain't never easy. I know they see the pain in his eyes, and he riding if a nigga cross the line. Tell me what you want from a nigga. Tell me what you want from a nigga. Loving me ain't never easy. Nah, loving me ain't never easy. Nah. I came up like a Logito, but Sonny was my father. The game I learned along the way, I passed it to my daughter. My sons will know they daddy was a poet from the gutter. My mama was the one that taught me life is guns and butter, so I do me. Believe me, shit ain't easy, ain't no freebies. Got me sitting in the spot, different product like a corner store. So what you need, coke, weed, lean, or good boy. Get it while it's hot, stash some 20s in my Jordan box. Loving me ain't never easy, what my woman say. Drink the pain away so I be numb. When the drama come, nigga try to take mine, I'm going out like Scarface. Still grinding, flag high, reppin' till I fucking die. Sometimes
Sometimes I get lost in my grind and I ain't stopping till I see every dime, my niggas. I know they see the pain in my eyes and I'm riding if a nigga cross the line. Sometimes I get lost in my grind, I ain't stopping till I see every dime. Me ain't never easy. I know they see the pain in his eyes and he riding if a nigga cross the line. From a nigga, tell me what you want from a nigga. Loving me ain't never easy. Nah, loving me ain't never easy. Nah.